Hey you guys, it's me, Gemstone. Oop, sorry about that. From tarotforhealing.com. I hope you guys are doing really well. This is your monthly reading for the Aquarius, and I'm going to be using playing cards and the Chrysalis Tarot this month. So, your first card is the King of Hearts with the Three of Clubs, with the Three of Diamonds, with the Ten of Spades. So, I think that this is a month where collaborations can work well for you in terms of finances. That's what I think. I think that if there is something you're trying to get off the ground, something that you're trying to take to the next level, like you already have a company but you want it to expand, collaborations could work really good for you. Because I see that when it comes to, or just you excelling in a career, any kind of line of work, I think that you need to get people to side with you or to really see what it is that you can do, really see what you can offer. It's almost like your cards are saying that you've taken something as far as you can take it, and so now it's to the point where you need somebody else sort of, or other people to bring it to another level. And this might have to do with you using your talents and your gifts, your abilities in some kind of way. But this does represent, again, collaborations with others. So it's almost like you're merging what you have to offer, your gifts, your abilities, with what somebody else has to offer. Maybe they can add something that you don't currently have. Maybe they have ideas that you don't have. Like there's something that can come through with these other people that can really be beneficial to you. Also, if you do any kind of self-employed work as well, you may find that maybe you're finding more people are interested in what you have to do, or like interested in your service or knowing about your service. But it's kind of saying, don't get weighed down or bogged down into things that can make you, what's the right way of saying it? Don't get bogged down by things that actually can be opening you up to new things. Like, don't feel like you have to be concerned about, oh well, what if I work with this person and it doesn't work, or something like that. Like it's sort of saying, trust that the right people will come along, trust that it's the right scenario. If really, like, in your heart of hearts, like the situation just doesn't quite feel right, then obviously I always say, like, go with your intuition. But then at the same time, it's kind of saying that you have to kind of keep yourself open to other perspectives as well. Yeah, because this card can also speak of stressful endings of scenarios as well. So if a scenario has been stressing you, worrying you, connected with work or money or things like that, it could be ending too. Like the stress could be ending or going away. Also, I feel like your element is air. The hearts represents sort of more cups elements, and with your first financial card, it has the mirrors, which is also a cups element, which is water. So I feel like it's sort of saying that, even if generally you don't really come from like a heart-centered space, which to be honest is a very general statement, because even though you're an Aquarius, you could be an Aquarius sun sign, Aquarius moon sign, Aquarius ascending sign, and therefore, like, your chart is made up of all different planets in all different places. So it doesn't mean that because you're an Aquarius that you're like stone cold and everything else. For some of you guys, you may be very in tune with your emotions and everything else, again depending on how your chart actually is. So I'm kind of feeling more intuitively that almost like this more softer kind of heart-centered energy is yours, like your energy. Like, I don't even feel like this is someone else, even though, like, being that these are the tarot cards and this is a very general reading, it could be. But I think that you are going to be in a more heart-centered space and going to be trusting your intuition more and trusting how you feel more. um or again it could be directly you, or it could be somebody else that is just giving that kind of vibe to you, or that kind of energy to you of care and concern in a collaboration, um by lending their support, their help, like that kind of thing, because it can represent a generous person that again just wants to be there, just wants to help you. um so yeah, and I think this card is representing the same thing for your work and your work situation, is that it's sort of things are lining up to where the right people can come along, people that genuinely want to support you in what you're trying to do. And I think it's so cute with this little like lamb that's here. It's so sweet, so cute. um but what I'm kind of seeing is with this one, it's sort of saying again, like, if you want to take things to the next level and open up yourself more to sort of newer things, the answer is through other people. And again, it's sort of saying, I think that this could be a fun experience as well. Like, I don't think this experience is going to be just all work and just being drab, focus on just what you're doing. I think that it could also be a case of somebody that wants to that can almost like liven you up, or a person that maybe even doesn't take themselves too seriously. Like they're good at what they do, but they have a good sense of humor at the same time. So it could be that too. So you may actually find that working alongside this person is quite, fun, as well as, getting work done. um it's also an opportunity for you to maybe learn something or be inspired by somebody else's efforts too. And I almost feel like the two of you, just like these two, you're very different, but then what you have to offer can really help. Can really, like, it's almost like once you come together, you can create something new that is like, it just works. It just as a collaboration, it just all comes together, even though you're so different. And sometimes that's what you need. So that's your work cards. And for those of you that are in relationships, you have the Seven of Mirrors with the Queen of Stones. I'm very drawn to that broken glass that is next to her. It's sort of saying to me, I feel like, I don't know, but to me, it's like what I'm seeing with your cards is I think that trust can be an issue between you and maybe a partner that you're with. For some of you, this could be like if you are with an earth sign partner, but then at the same time, your partner doesn't necessarily have to be an earth sign. To me, this card could also represent somebody that has just maybe been in your life for a significant amount of time, or it could be representing somebody that they could have this kind of caring and homely kind of nature to them, but then at the same time, this card could also represent somebody that is more interested in their own sense of stability, um or financial stability, or anything else. So for some of you guys, you could be finding that maybe this person could be a person that is just in your life for the stability that you provide. So that could be the way you see it, and that's maybe why you might be disappointed or upset with this person, or having maybe an issue with this person. But then or maybe even something about this person that is kind of being revealed to you, um that you start to see. I'm also seeing as well with this card that is kind of saying be careful. Be careful in terms of knowing, of having all the facts before making any kind of accusations too. So don't just go by even what you hear from me. Go by what you actually see in this person, or see in this situation. Some of you guys, you may be actually expanding your options. Like, you might have somebody that is in your life, but you might also be considering, maybe another person that could be a potential partner as well, or wanting to keep your options open in terms of love. It also could be looking that way too. But I see that these cards are definitely talking about you're thinking about somebody. You're thinking about somebody, and maybe you're trying to work them out, trying to work out who they are. Even if you are in a relationship with them, maybe you feel like you haven't seen the full extent of this person, and you're still trying to work out, okay, who is this person? Where do I kind of stand with them? But again, it's important when this kind of card shows up with all these mirrors, and mirrors can represent an illusion as well. So it's kind of saying, with illusions, it can be that maybe you over idolize a person, or it could be maybe you're seeing this person maybe even in a negative light, and that's not exactly who this person is. So it's sort of saying, again, it's about really taking time to see what this person is about. This person that's in your life. That's kind of what I'm seeing with those cards. For those of you that are single, you have the Knight of Scrolls with the Page of Scrolls. So that's the visionary and the Pilgrim. So what I'm kind of seeing for you guys that are single is both of these cards are representing the air element with scrolls in this deck. So it's kind of saying that you are going to be I see both of these cards being a person that is quite independent, being a person that is quite it does represent being intellectual, but it kind of represents, I think, maybe with this pilgrimage card, is maybe there's something that you're wanting to explore. Like maybe for some of you guys, you might even be traveling on your own or seeing new places by yourself. It's also, I kind of get this impression that if you are single, you're not even going to be thinking or wanting somebody in your life right now. Maybe you're just fine doing you and fine just exploring and just fulfilling your life with other things that also make you feel good or that resonate with you. Because to me, the visionary is like saying that you have something that you're focused on, that you are just really you really want to see come about. So you're pursuing that, you're wanting to do that, you're wanting to really make it, bring it into reality. And so for some of you guys, it's like relationships aren't even on your mind. It's just all about what you're trying to do, what you're trying to see for yourself, what you're trying to create for yourself, especially in new things, because you have the Page of Scrolls, and then earlier you had the Page of Spirals. Pages, usually represent a young people, or people that are trying to again, it can represent learning, it can represent having almost like a childlike way of seeing the world. And when I mean childlike, I'm not trying to say like you just are silly and you just or have the mentality of a child, but it's kind of saying that you have the wonder that a child has, the optimism of a child, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I see. It's interesting that these two show up with the Knight and the Page. I'm just sort of looking at them and just seeing, because I'm feeling like there's something additionally like they're trying to say, because then it's almost can represent a progression from a knight from a page to a knight. So it can represent maturing, again, sort of learning something that matures you, makes you, or creates a new vision for you. Very interesting cards, those two. So when it comes to your spirituality, you have the Page of Stones with the Empress. The Page of Stones with the Empress is, again, you have another page. So many pages are showing up for you. You have the most, like, then in any of these general readings so far. So something is very significant. And for some of you guys, the page, again, representing children, could also represent a child in your life as well. But a lot of them, to me, are feeling like it's about you embracing this kind of youthful energy The Empress is, again, she's loving, caring, nurturing, and kind. So for some of you, you might be nurturing children. So if you are like a teacher, if you are like, you work part of social services, or you have a job that connects you with kids, you might find that or even your own family, your own kids, so you might just feel it in that sense of the word, as in that way as well. But it also could be saying, with this being your spiritual cards, it could be saying that maybe there's something that will connect you almost with children that you can gain for yourself or learn for yourself. Maybe kids are going to make you feel more at one, because sometimes we're just being around children, especially if you like to be around kids, I usually find that they do make you, they don't, when you're around kids, like, you don't think about stuff, you don't think about any kind of worries or stress, like, you just kind of, they play and you play with them, and it's like it's almost like you start to take on some of their kind of behaviors in just being in the moment and just not overthinking anything and just going with the flow of things. And I think that's kind of what you need on a spiritual level, is just sort of that kind of just going with the flow and just not taking life too seriously or being too serious in terms of things that you're trying to do. The Empress can also represent our creativity, so this might be a time, connected with all these pages, it could be a time for you to really show your creativity. Yeah, actually, that's a really good one, because you have quite a lot of frees as well, and that also represents creativity too. And the Empress is a free card as well. So it's about you birthing something new. So for some of you guys, you might even be pregnant and having a child too. Um, but then it also could be saying that this is just a time for you to really be creative, and you might be doing really well in some creative projects. So if you are like an artist and that kind of thing, like, or you just do something, anything can come into being, like, being creative anyway. But this is the time for you to bring your creations to life. So yes, peace and many blessings to you, Aquarius. I'll see you. Bye.